Hello everyone, this is Dan, and I'm currently on the Zipkrowd survival server, the one with all the insane builds. Behind me is the above bedrock gold farm. This was built before I came here, but anyway. And off to the side there's this railroad track leading off somewhere, so let's go and get on. Anyway, I've recently noticed that while I've been on the Zipkrowd crew for quite a while, I haven't posted anything from the survival server, and so today is the day I fixed that mistake. Welcome to the first official Zipkrowd episode. As befitting the first episode, I decided to show off one of the larger builds I have going, namely a very specific mob farm that you should be able to see coming up in the distance sometime soon. But anyway, I obviously designed it and created first and made sure that everything works, and now I'm building it up on the survival server because this is one of the few farms that we do not have built on the survival server yet, actually. It's really rare, actually, to find something that hasn't yet been built on the server, but yeah, this is one of them. So let me show it off, and it's not done yet, it's roughly halfway there, but I thought that it might be interesting to show it as it's in the process of being built, so let's get off from there. Alright, let's start from the very bottom of this farm. So over here I just built up a minecart elevator going up, so it's just mostly for construction purposes, so I can go up and down and stop at whichever level I want and to easily throw ender pearls, but once it's done, it'll still be there, so I actually find these rather easy to use. You just point up, press the button, and hold it until you reach whichever level you want. Obviously, well, at least I believe that ender pearl elevators are slightly faster, so there will probably be an ender pearl elevator going up as well, but that's in the future after construction of everything else is done. Over here I'll have a drop point, so you can just go into here and it'll drop you right down to the bottom. I sort of made a bit of a mistake with all the vines, but since this won't be built until basically everything else is done, I'll just leave it as it is until, well, I need to really fix that. Anyway, other than that, since this is a farm, there will obviously be mob drops, and they'll be going into here, into a simple sorter. It's got pistons because I wanted it to be spawn proof, so, and this is the nether, so it has to be done that way. But anyway, there's 3 selections, and over here there's actually another port here, which will lead off to a much larger storage facility for everything else. I'm not mentioning the actual drops because I'm kind of wondering if, well, I'll leave it up to you to guess what exactly I am farming for. But let's just say that this kind of farm hasn't been made in Zipkrowd, so that kind of limits the options as to what it could be. Anyway, over here I've got 4 of these towers, and they've got the space in the middle as empty. And right along there you can see there is a fence gate controlled by the torch. So when you click the button, the fence gate opens for like 3 ticks or something, and lets the minecart fall down, and out it goes for all 4 of these, and they combine into here, onto the railroad, and off. At the moment it's not actually connected, so it's used mainly for me to go there and back, but later on it'll be connected, and I'll leave it up to you to guess exactly what that will be used for. Other than that, there's really nothing much to say about the bottom. It's still actually not done because this passageway along the center needs to be a bit built up as well, but it's not important design-wise, it's more aesthetic, so I'll leave that until later. So for now, this is the minecart elevator. I built it up with half slabs so it's easier to get out, and the actual blocks holding this, or quote-unquote holding it, are 1 block away, so there's just an open space around, and this allows me to easily get out and not risk more or less colliding with this and appearing on this block to plummet to my death. It makes it quite a bit safer. And another thing is with these ladders along the side, I can always use this as a method of going down, since it just drops through and they prevent you from getting too much speed, and you can drop all the way down to the bottom. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get right up to the levels I wanted to show. Right here, we'll actually skip this one, but whatever, is the item collection setup. It's pretty much the same as you can see in almost anywhere really. You've got blocks of iron with snow, 2 layers of snow above to prevent mob spawns. The blocks of iron have to be blocks because down below there's a railroad track, and to prevent small slimes from spawning them, they have to have a solid block above them. And there's a hopper minecart, well, 2 of them, traveling along the inside, picking up all the items. It was Impulse's design, I believe. It's rather simple and quite efficient and works very well. So you've got a hopper down at the bottom, a comparator out with a torch. The torch powers this block, and there's a repeater powering that block, so that when the minecart comes in, an item transfers out into here, turning off the torch, meaning that the power rail on top of the hopper is turned off, meaning that the hopper minecart will remain there until it's all empty and then gets sent out. Very simple and quite well designed, I'd say. You know, small, compact, efficient. Very good. And over here, just a simple hopper conveyor belt, I guess you can say. I think I'm getting a bit of lag. Give me a moment. Alright, that was weird. Couldn't even pause the video or anything, and not exactly that good at editing videos, so anyway, I guess this will be in there as well. So yeah, this drop down, just both this minecart or this hopper line and the one from here, they all feed into a dropper with the simple clock here, which drops all the items that are fed into it down to there into the sorting system. So yeah, rather standard, I'd say. The more interesting part is up over there. I haven't actually gotten into the more detailed redstoning part. Well, I guess you could say I'm halfway through the redstone part, but the other parts are rather simpler, but at the same time, there's a lot more redstone to be done. Alright, so let's drop down into there. There we go. So this is the redstone part. There's a rather simple clock here with minecart or with hoppers. They go in a circle, and whenever this one is filled, it stops the next one from leaving. So they go from this one to this one, to this one, then to this one. The central ones are just there more or less because, well, I wanted it to be symmetrical. So, you know, forgive me for that. Anyway, basically the way it works is that it sends off a signal into here, then into the other one, and then into the other one. So it's a circle of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to 1. Over here we've got a pulse limiter into 4 ticks, and up with a torch tower into there. And this wasn't actually a good one to show off because it doesn't have anything up above, but this one does, so that's good. It's got a rail system up above, and we'll jump up and see that in a bit. But simply put, it's this design. I've decided to use ghasts to collect all the mobs that spawn up there instead of, you know, shifting floors, dropping down and killing them. And this is a bit of a better method, I found. I actually saw JL use this method for a gold farm originally, and I thought it was such a nice method that how can you possibly not use it for like everything else? But yeah. So I decided to use it. There's 4 of them, 4 spawn spaces. One isn't done, one is partially done, and the other 2 are, well, I guess you just need the actual spawn spaces in there, and that'll be the very last thing I put in, because without ghasts traveling along and collecting the mobs and an actual ceiling above it to prevent ghasts from flying up and killing everything, or you, more importantly, putting in the mob spawning floors is probably the stupidest idea I could possibly do. But yeah, there's several areas which are not spawn proof because I'm still building, and I've already had ghasts spawn there and start attacking me. You can see there's one hit over there. I actually had to fix a couple of these glass blocks because they got destroyed, and there's actually I believe it's somewhere over there that I have a ghast ball just floating in the air because it got unloaded. But yeah, anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get right here and travel a bit higher, so I can show you the actual spawn floors over there, or at least the part that will become the spawn floors. Alright, here we go. Could have landed a bit better, I'd say, but it's fine. Alright, so here we go. There's each one of these spawn areas will have 5 tracks for the Ghasts to travel along. Over there, as you can see, the very edges are turned off and it will be turned on based on that clock. And that's the reason for that is so that the Ghasts are always lined up properly and they're all traveling in the same line. And at the same time, to make sure that the mob cap isn't exactly reached, I want it so that this one is sweeping and then the other one starts and then the other one starts and then the third and fourth one starts. I think I put in one more, 2 other. Anyway, but yeah, so that once the fourth one starts, the next one starts when the fourth one is roughly like, you know, a quarter of the way. So they're kind of sweeping not at the same time, but rather staggered, so that there's never an accumulation of mobs up on the spawn floors, you know, so that one of the spawn floors is just emptying while the other one is being created and the other 2 are sort of in the middle of being emptied. But yeah, so that's more or less how it's going to work. I still need to actually get the Ghasts into here. Oh, there's the Ghast ball. But yeah, I actually still need to get the Ghasts onto minecarts, I guess capture them somehow, bring them over here, and I'm gonna need 20 of them, 5 multiplied by 4, and that's gonna be a pain to get, but this is Zipkrowd and it's absolutely fine. We'll do it some way or another. So yeah, at the center point over here, actually right off the side, you can notice that I'm not using anything to slow it down, so when the Ghasts on minecarts leave from here, they're going at more or less max speed. Then they pass through here, and because this is going in the north-south direction, they actually interact with the minecarts here and slow down. But because right after that there is another power rail, they speed up right at the same time, so they continue traveling at more or less, you know, really high speed. I'm not sure if it's maximum speed, but close enough. Then once they reach here, there's another minecart over there, so they interact with it and slow down again. Then they pass into here and here, and they speed up, hit the block, and turn around. Notice that that block is out a couple blocks further away from the edge, meaning that once the Ghasts are here, the mobs which did get pushed to the end or spawned here will actually be on the other side of the Ghasts and start getting pushed towards the drop zone. And then the minecart interacts here with the other minecart and slows down, but now there's no longer a power rail along the side to speed it back up again, so it travels slowly towards here. It hits the power rail and starts speeding up, but then again there's a minecart here, so it slows back down to what speed I need it to, so it starts traveling to the edge once again slowly. And once it gets to here, it speeds up for just a brief moment before it stops, but that last lurch really doesn't matter as much. It doesn't really affect anything. So it gets to here and just stops, allowing all the mobs to fall down towards their death and item collection. So yeah, that's actually the way it's going to work. There's going to be 4 of them, and each one of these is 19 blocks wide and something like 40 blocks long, so you've got, call it 20, 40, 800 spawn spaces in each one of these. Multiply that by 4. So yeah, there's quite a lot of spawn spaces along here. Not exactly the 4,000 that the gold farm has, but it's rather close, so yeah. That's actually about it for the show that I want, or everything I wanted to show you. There will be a lot of redstone to be done connecting up to the next platform, and I'll be doing that later. This platform here is the control panel, so it'll stop the clock here, as well as have torch towers leading up to the redstone portion up above to control. And obviously this thing is built up all the way to the highest level, so once it's all done, you just need to travel all the way up to the top. There will be a kind of a lounge area, I guess you can say, where you can just sit and aft at or away from your computer for a while and just wait while this thing works for you. And yeah, that's actually about it. I'll leave it up to you to guess what kind of mobs I'm trying to farm here. Are they interested in seeing whether you will, how many people kind of know what I'm farming here or can guess at it. how many, well, do not. But yeah, as I hope you enjoyed this very first episode of my Zipkrowd series. Later on, I will be doing more of them. In the next one, hopefully I'll have the spawn spaces here done. So we'll just have to move in the Ghasts and get everything ready. And then after that, hopefully this will all be done so I can show the finished product. And I've been working a bit on my base, quote unquote, just somewhere which looks aesthetically pleasing, you know. But I haven't done too much there except for excavating several, like 10 double chests of stone and 10 double chests of grass or ground. So nothing too much actual build wise has been happening there, so I thought I won't show it. There is a couple other projects that I've got going, but I'd prefer to ask some of the other people who have been helping / working with me to build them before I showcase them, so I'm not sure exactly when those will be shown. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I definitely will be interested in seeing how many of you can guess what I'm trying to farm here. And yeah, so this was Dan. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'm signing off. See you guys.